The one player that you would take above all others going into 2025 is?
Lamar Jackson. Nobody's playing quarterback right now better than Lamar Jackson. And I know that sounds weird. People are like, wait, nobody's playing better than quarterback than Lamar Jackson, but wait, Josh Allen got the MVP? Yeah, Josh Allen, like I said, I think was most valuable to his team in that way. Ravens were awesome. They had a really good team. He had a better support system around him, right? He didn't always have to make magic happen on a week-to-week basis like a Josh Allen did, right? This is a team that played some of the best defense in the league down the stretch. They could run the ball on just about anybody, okay? So that's why I gave Josh Allen the MVP. But that doesn't mean he played as good a quarterback play on a week-to-week basis. Lamar Jackson is out of this world. I mean, out of this world. He's one of those where I go back and watch and I go, I don't know. Did I make the right vote? I'm not sure. I mean, it's that. I mean, 41-4. 4,000 yards passing, 900 yards receiving. I mean, what do you want to say? It's incredible. It's incredible. And it's through all facets of how you could do it. So, yeah, do I put value in what he brings to the table in the running game? Of course I do, just like we talked about with Jalen Hurts in the last show, right? There's value to that and what he does and his scrambling and his ability to make plays off schedule and his ability to hang in the pocket and hang in there and be a passer and go, wait, I know I got 3 rockets up my ass and I can run around the corner maybe for 60, but I'm going to hang here because I think Zay Flowers is going to come open. Shoo! Make it happen, right? Has just the absolute right touch of when to run and when to hang in the pocket. And on top of that, has conquered a thing that to me is, I've only seen a few people conquer it my whole life as far as this kind of skill set. And I know we've hit on this before, but arguably the greatest running quarterback in the history of the game. And he has become unreal in the pocket, making decisions, throwing the football. Unreal. I mean, he's disciplined in the pocket in what he does in all facets, right? We talk about, hey, this whole life he's been able to look at one guy and go, wait, he's not open, I'm going to go run. And we're all been like, good, go ahead, see you later, right? But he realized, like, that's not sustainable forever. And I think if we want to win the Super Bowl and get a Super Bowl and do that, I got to be better at this part of the game. And he has been out of this world good 2 years in a row now to where you go, wait, this isn't just some guy who can make backyard plays and backyard throws, and he could throw off his back foot. He could throw it sidearm. He's incredible off his back foot. I mean, incredible. All right, him and Mahomes and Allen, their ability to hang on their back foot and just flick a ball 20 and 30 yards downfield is as good as anybody in the sport in the history of the NFL. That's how good they are, right? His ability to put some mustard on the ball and drive it into tight windows is incredible. And then his decision making and seeing the field is off the charts good. We talked about maybe Burrow could be a little more aggressive at times. Mahomes could be a little more surgical and not be so impatient. You go back and watch Lamar Jackson and you just go, I never have a question of that in any of the games, really. It's just like, damn, there's a big play. Is he going to be aggressive and throw? Oh, yep, he did it. Oh, damn, nothing's open. Will he be surgical and just take the 5-yard gain? Oh, boom, right on the money. Do it. Boom. He does it all. I don't know what to talk about with his negative other than he's got to rein it in on big game football just a hair. That's the only negative I can come away with.
Rein it in what way?
Rein it in into you're playing really good teams. It's late in the year. It's cold. The margin of victory against a team like the Chiefs or the Bills is like you make one mistake, you lose, right? Right? And that's where Mahomes has been magical because he can find ways maybe to not make those mistakes in those type of games, right? Where yeah, whether you go back to the AFC Championship game, getting stripped, maybe missing a few plays or throws that he could have had last year. I think he was trying to do too much against the Bills, right? Bad snap, pick up the ball. I'm going to do a 360 tumble roll and then catch myself and then try to run, right? No, you're going to fumble and give them the ball, right? I just think there was some of that. Maybe wanting it too much. Even into that last throw of the year to Mark Andrews. Again, where I know I've gotten dragged for that, like saying that on the Up and Adams show. Yeah, I know Mark Andrews should have thrown the ball, but it's Lamar Jackson. He's one of the most or caught the ball, but it's Lamar Jackson. He's one of the most gifted throwers I've ever seen in my life. He should make a better throw too. Both can be true. Everybody, why does we always have to be like you're right, you're wrong, f you, you're an idiot.
That's what
I'm
keeps
smart.
this whole thing going.
I know. Well, but
pays our paychecks.
But so that to me is like the negatives you get to, right? It's hard to find anything last year that you really came away with going, oh, man, he's undisciplined. He didn't make it happen as much, right? And maybe the Eagles game a little bit in that one where I want to go, there might have been a few opportunities to just take a more conservative completion and do all of that. But other than that, I don't know if there was another game that I felt that way at all.
He has entered rare air here. He is now just the 4th quarterback ever to be ranked number 1.
Wow.
In the quarterback rankings, joining Mahomes, obviously.
Right.
And
Josh Allen.
and
Lamar. And let's see. Who else would be my number 1? Hold on a second here.
I didn't know this was going to be a trivia question for you. Who have you ranked number 1 in the past?
My
Chris Simms,
original number
in your
1. Let's see. By that year,
Blake Bortles was in the 70 range. Or
yeah,
71.
that's exactly right. So I'm probably thinking like 2017, right? Was that my original year?
2017.
Oh, duh. Aaron Rodgers. I'm
Yeah.
an idiot.
Aaron Rodgers. Good job. I'm not
Yeah.
going to give you credit for getting that.
No,
but,
don't. Pete started humming my song into my ear. Yes. So, yes, that would be 4, but
yeah,
damn, that's a
and now,
special 4.
Yeah, Lamar's there. So he was number 4 last year,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson. Who would you credit the most? I mean, him, obviously. But what would you credit the most with him making this leap? Because if you would have told me last year he's number 4, but he'll never sniff number 1 with Mahomes and Burrow and your love of Josh Allen,
Yeah.
I would have been like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you think unlocked him
I
this
think
year?
it feels like Todd Monken unlocked him, right? It showed him a new way of like, hey, have faith in the offense. Well, I'll get people open. You don't need to be Magic Man 360, run around the edge, throw a ball, or run 70 yards down the field for us to win a game, right? Like, I got enough creative ways, and we got talent here now, too, to where if you just play it by the book, we'll be plenty good on offense. And then you just add a little sizzle every now and then when we need it, right? We'll be, like, almost unstoppable. And that's really where they got. I mean, that's where they were. And again, we saw that in the playoff game. I mean, they were unstoppable that night. I went back and watched that game too. I mean, they played Buffalo 10 times. They beat them 9 times. That was just the one night they screwed it up. Isaiah Likely, wide open down the middle, fumbles the ball, right? We talked about the drop, missed throw, his fumble, his bad interception. And again, I think in a moment where he's going, wait, we're down. I want to jumpstart us right now. And it's just like, no, come on, it's playoff football. There's a lot of game left here. We don't have to go throw a ball up down the right sideline, right, without seeing the guy come out of his break. Rashad Bateman, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. I watched a lot of film yesterday. I think it was Bateman. Now, he makes the corner route, and he throws it up, and you remember that got intercepted early on in the football game against Buffalo. That's his next finishing touch, is just learn to rein it in my opinion, in big game playoff football, because the team you're playing is usually damn good. They've been talking about you all week. They're going to do anything they can to get that little advantage, and you might just not be able to play with your pants on fire like the same way you did in Week 12 in the NFL regular season game, right? Yeah. And that's, I think, something he's learning on the fly. And, man, they're on the doorstep. And would it shock me if they won the Super Bowl this year and then he won the Super Bowl MVP, and then we all just sit here and go, yeah, it's official. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? Yeah, it would not shock me. No, it would not shock me, I should say.
Yeah, turned 28 in January, and we were in Louisville for the Kentucky Derby. And he was there. He was at Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse. We were eating the night before the Derby. He was leaving. He was up at the top step, and there was this older woman that was just starstruck. Oh, she couldn't believe she was meeting Lamar Jackson, goes up to him. They probably stood there and talked for like a good 3 to 4 minutes. So she's just talking to him and telling him stories and everything. Like, such a good dude, too. And
Great
it seems
dude.
like of all the players that have played with him in the past, they rave about him.
He's an
He is
urban
a
legend.
Exactly.
He's an urban legend.
Urban legend among a bunch of players who are urban legends themselves.
Exactly.
In the NFL.
You're right. Exactly right. He's one of those guys that everybody's in awe of. Everybody. It doesn't matter who you talk to. I talk to teams that are getting ready to prepare for him, right? And a lot of the times, like, I'll talk to coaches on a Tuesday because it's a little bit of a, hey, we're studying whatever, right? But I'm not coaching this day. The players aren't here. I might be able to text or talk. I mean, I've had a few instances over the last few years of, like, being able to talk to a team who's preparing for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
And it's always like, oh my gosh, right? I mean, we were in the other room with all the coaches because the D coordinator called us in there to go, look at this. Look at what Lamar Jackson's doing, right? Like, what do we do? They're watching a highlight tape. Like, what do we do on third down? How do you even defend this, right? That's what he does to football teams. He is one of those rare guys, just like everybody we're talking about here, and we haven't hit on Josh Allen yet, who does this as well, but Mahomes, Burrow, they give defensive coordinators nightmares. They all do it within their own little way here. But Lamar Jackson has hit a part in his career where, yeah, it's all come together, and he's made a rare transition from a running quarterback to a precision, surgical, pocket-passing quarterback who runs when need be. And that's what's amazing about it. He hasn't lost a lot of speed. That's what's special as well. He just got to learn big game football, clutchness in the playoffs, if you want to say. Those are the only things that are stopping us from putting him in the hierarchy of hierarchy, which I'm telling you, he's already there. We just need some hardware to get Johnny the plumber to believe it.
It might be a surprise that he's number one on your list here, but if you talk to defensive coordinators, he might be the number one nightmare. In the NFL. Do you think he's
I would say so.
D coordinator who keeps you up at night the most? Obviously, with what Mahomes has done, but Jackson does so much.
It does. It's both. It is both. It's a different way in which they go about it. I think teams are like, oh no, how do we defend Lamar all game long? Mahomes is a little like that, but a little less. But there's more fear of like, he's just going to win it in the end. Yeah, that's what you get from the people who play the Chiefs. Like, he's going to figure it. He's going to be clutch at the end. And you don't get quite that same vibe with Lamar. Everyone's like, oh, wow, wow, wow. But they're not quite as afraid of that clutchness yet. And I think that's the last step, the last piece of the puzzle, right? And, he hasn't been at OTAs. He's only been there one day.
Yeah.
And I don't love that. You know that. You only have a certain amount of time to be there, be the leader. You're the man. Right? You want to win the Super Bowl. These, to me, are the little things you do. It's hard to argue the results the last 2 years. I know he's done this, and it's been awesome. But again, I'm the kind of guy that'd go, wait, the last 2 years they were awesome, but we couldn't quite get over the hump. Let me show up this year. Maybe that'll help us get over the hump, right? So that I don't get, but he's amazing, along with Josh Allen, who we're going to talk about here in a second. They are about as a one-man show as you could possibly be in the NFL. Yo, homies, what's up? Thanks for watching Chris Simms Unbuttoned. And just because the weather's warm doesn't mean football ain't still on our brains right here.
We are still working, so smash that subscribe button. We got all the training camp news, preseason news, everything up until kickoff night.
Thanks for watching. And again, remember to hit that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.